this sucks. Alright folks, so with that dramatic opening, you may be aware that something's going on right now. And while I'm probably not going to go into that in too much detail here, I will say that I've definitely been affected by it, and so it kind of seemed like a good time to make this video. We're gonna go and we're gonna take a look at some electric skateboards on Amazon and why that's either a brilliant or absolutely terrible idea. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but probably not a good idea. So let's talk about why you would be looking to buy an electric skateboard on Amazon. And honestly, let me preface this entire video by saying, you probably shouldn't. Ideally, you would want to buy direct from a manufacturer. One, because you're not dealing with a reseller at that point, and there's no question of stock. And two, you're going to get that service warranty directly from them. Now, that being said, there are some advantages to buying a board through Amazon, and that is pretty much Amazon's return policy. So regardless of whatever service warranty any company is going to provide you, if it breaks within 30 days because it's a piece of crap, you can just send it on back. You're here to buy a board on Amazon, and we're going to go on this journey together. Okay, so immediately all bad. Like, these are essentially what Amazon's recommending you, and every single one of these boards is absolutely terrible. The Blitzarts in particular, you should never be buying these. These are like first generation Chinese boards, and the Blitzart, and also this is, I think, sometimes called the Spadger, and I think we will see a Spadger here. But look at that. 350 watt hub, 17 miles an hour. That thing is going to have no power. This, whatever this is, and actually this is just another version of the Team G. Although you do get that fancy remote, I guess. But yeah, we're not even going to look at any of these boards because they're all essentially the same. Honestly, I haven't known these boards to last like longer than 3 months. Some of them I've heard people just get it and it dies within a week. So it may be cheap, but you could definitely apply your money elsewhere. So Skatebolt is actually kind of a newer, I guess, US, but they're essentially a lifestyle brand. They're an OEM reseller that has kind of, I guess a US marketing face, and they're alright. They're probably okay to deal with. I mean, this particular model, I'm really not hot on. Just, here we go. This. Whenever I see this style of battery enclosure / e-tray, that's my instant go. Like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. And you can see we've actually got some other recommendations for Skatebolt boards here too. If I had to give this a rating out of 5, I'd probably give it like I'd give this like a 3. It's like you could do better, but you could also do worse. And then over here we have Swagtron, and Swagtron's really interesting because they actually were a market leader for a little while with the original hoverboards, and I could be getting this wrong, so don't quote me please. But Swagtron originally introduced the hoverboard, and they were actually known as the ones that didn't catch on fire. But now it just seems like they have all of these absolutely crap, super cheap boards, in my opinion, absolutely crap, that just really are like basically cheap toys that are probably going to break on you. We have another Team G. This is essentially the Lycoan, I guess. They have another imprint brand now that's the Lycoan or Lycan board. Again, specs are alright. Kind of sketchy for a 540 watt motor setup that can go 26. Hey, it's got Prime, so if you absolutely have to get a cheap board, here we can just keep on rolling. Like, just these are actually so kind of interesting here. So I've seen this board pop up. You may have seen it labeled as the Anchier, I think penny board or mini board. Press reviewed one of these a while back, and he said it actually wasn't too bad for just like a little fun commuter board. They're not anything serious, but at that price point, like, this isn't like a board like you would do regular commuting with. This is something like I would say you could go and like grab groceries with. You know, it's not gonna 10 miles is probably more like 4 miles in reality, and I can see that this is a mono drive. Yeah, so it's just a little 6S battery and a little mono drive setup. Again, it's something you could do a lot better, but you could probably also do a lot worse. These are all over eBay too. They're pretty much nameless OEM boards, and a lot of the time I generally recommend to stay away from those. But if you're just looking to, you know, like you're normally used to riding penny boards and you want to get something to just kind of screw around on that's electric, not a bad call. And again, when I see this particular setup, this handle, no OEM imprint, this remote, that's generally the sign to stay away. That's generally the sign that this board is going to break in 2 weeks. Voyager, again, this is just kind of like a nicer, I don't know if I want to say that, I guess, newer version of this board, and $10 more, but hey, it's got Prime. I don't feel very strongly about this brand, just because it is another OEM, just kind of generic, like mass manufactured board, but I'm fairly certain you're probably getting the same internals as this board, so you can't go too wrong. But would I recommend it? No. That's just a no. I mean, it's got that nice kind of cruiser deck on it, so that's kind of unique. Instant no. Again, this is a board that's probably going to break in 3 weeks on you and is severely underpowered. You can find these actually for as low as 250 on like Alley or lower sometimes. Surprising to see that like I keep forgetting this, but Razer did make an electric skateboard. They're definitely more toys. These aren't like for I wouldn't recommend this for an adult. If you got like a boosted board or something and you just want a cheap board to get, you know, like your 10 or 12-year-old kid, it's probably not too bad. I don't have any experience with them, but, you know, Razer is at least a reputable brand, or they used to be. I mean, yeah, the reviews are kind of hit or miss. I'm sure there's probably a lot of dead batteries in there. Oh, that's an old style remote, too. That's basically the Acton remote. This, we're not even going to approach that. Here's another one of those. Like I said, this is, you want to be on the lookout for this. Not actually specifically this, but this style of enclosure here. Just kind of, it just screams cheap. And this is actually a mono drive board too on top of that, and a mono drive for $400. When you look over here and we finally get something, I don't even know what this is, keep moving. We finally get something good here with the BACKFIRE, you know, the G2, it is an older board now, but for $50 more than this no-name whatever, you're getting a reliable brand name. It's got Prime delivery. It's only $450. You know, it's got all right specs. It is kind of in those same family of those Gen 1 Chinese boards. Like, they've definitely got better boards out now, but we're here because you were buying a board on Amazon, and if I had to actually recommend one, it would probably be this. Like, nothing wrong with it, just a good, nice little commuter board, and BACKFIRE makes great boards, so 8 to 12 miles, realistically you're probably hitting 8, although I do like that they are saying 8 to 12 instead of just 12 or 15. Top speed 24 miles per hour, probably 22, 23. So yeah, overall not bad. I would definitely give that one my seal of approval. Okay, so here's one that's a definite no. Never buy this. I have seen so many Reddit threads of just like irate fathers and pissed off parents who have gotten this thing, or, you know, guys who went out and got a board just to, you know, get something fun. And this board goes by a lot of different names. I think this is a newer style of the deck, but basically Spadger is what it's the Spadger board. And this is just like a super generic, like super bad freaking Photoshop. It's a super generic, super low quality OEM board. I have never heard of anyone having a good long-term experience with these. I've not personally, again, had experience on this, as I'll state for a lot of these boards I haven't had hands-on experiences with because I don't buy cheap OEM boards. So let's talk about this. because this is kind of awkward in that it is an OEM board, it's not super cheap, and it's a mountain board. But I've had a couple of friends who have picked these up, and for what they're for, like, the guy, like, that's legit. He's got the TSG helmet and everything, you know, like, that's, whichever factory is making these is actually taken out and taking the time. Like, that's not just a super stock photo. That's a super stock photo. But the feedback I've gotten on these is that out of the box they're not bad. Like if you just wanted a mountain board and you didn't have the wherewithal or the know-how to do DIY, these actually hold up pretty well. Now, are they the best thing in the world? No. Again, like you're taking a hit in the quality department. Like some of the tolerances on the trucks might be a little bit off, so you might get some wheel slide over time, or some of the bearings might sit a little loose on the axle. But you know, in the grand scheme of things, not bad. So if you were specifically like looking for a mountain board or a really torquey board to ride around in like a city or something, and you have really bad roads, I could see my way around to this thing. No, just again, Blitz Art, no, and Skate, no. Again, little tiny board. This is so like, it's just too easy to just say like, do not buy these boards. Like, just close my eyes and like point on the screen and say just no. But really, like, I honestly like, I do care about consumers in this space just because like it's so easy for someone who's never like really looked into getting an electric skateboard, and now that Boosted's gone and they're like, oh well, you know, this is still an electric skateboard, so it's probably just as good. But really, there's just so much just cheap kit out there that it's, and I feel bad for the people that buy these, honestly. But this is a weird one because I saw, this is new. Like I hadn't seen this before, but I originally actually saw these on eBay, and I thought that was kind of quirky with the colors, and like they're super bright and kind of colorful. It's interesting that it's got an LCD remote, but I don't know. I kind of, like, part of me wants these boards to be at least somewhat decent, just because, you know, like, yeah, this would be a good board for a kid. And, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell if that's Photoshop. No, that's actually a kid with a board, so they must have pulled that off Instagram somewhere. But yeah, I mean, would I recommend this again? No. What? Got something in my throat. Okay, so here's another yes. Vareal is, again, not the top of the heap in terms of quality, but they are a known quantity, and there are plenty of people out there that'll swear by this brand. So yeah, if you were looking like for a cheap GTR clone, this would be something to look at. And at $800, it's not too bad. And again, if it breaks down on you in the first couple of weeks, you can just send it back. The deck does look pretty nice. It's that standard kind of evolved bamboo style deck and the twin kingpins, or sorry, dual kingpin trucks. So yeah, not a bad choice. And we got a couple of pages to get through, so forgive me for not really dwelling on the specs too much. Again, we have the just kind of generic mountain board. No. A lot of these just seem to be repeated from the top down, honestly. The Vestar Blackhawk, yeah, sure. I mean, there's plenty of reviews out there for this one now. Again, it's that kind of evolved GTR style board. And, you know, I think this is about what they go for on their website. Although, honestly, there's no real benefit to getting it through Amazon unless, like I said, like you had like a bunch of gift cards and you wanted to knock, you know, like $100 or $200 off that price just because you've been saving up. Again, yeah, sure. The one thing I will say, though, is having just gotten the onboard bamboo, is that those dual kingpin trucks and these airless AT wheels are not a good mix. If you watch Daniel's follow-up video on the onboard bamboo, this board absolutely sings though on those 120 mil cloud wheels, and I can attest to that. I actually got that sitting around here somewhere. This video has been brought to you by Nameless Mug. Alright, so let's keep going because we're getting closer to some good stuff. Again, generic AT board. Oh no, that's a Kytt. So that's the rear wheel assembly with the motors, and that's actually not a bad price for that. Okay, yes. So even though it's a mono drive, Unlimited does make, and they've got all the options here. Do I recommend the race kit? Yes. Is it a little bit pricey? Also yes. But if you're more on the, like, you're coming from more traditional longboarding and you want a simple and easy setup to convert one of your favorite decks to be an electric board, like, this is basically a bolt-on kit and it'll get you out the door, and it's got plenty of torque. I like the hot swappable batteries. Like, solid choice. And it looks like it does have prime too. Again, I would recommend going with at least the dual kit, just for a little bit more. The race goes, I think, yeah, it goes up to 26, and I think that was the one that Sofu reviewed, and she really liked it. So, and I can attest this too. It felt really nice and smooth, like the acceleration, everything. The acceleration, the braking, very consistent. Very solid. I think there was an issue with mounting with the wires coming loose, but I think they changed like the install manual to fix that, so not an issue anymore. And these hubs are very decent as well. So again, board, no, ain't that a tragedy? I mean, yes. In the long run, no, but yes. It kind of remains to be seen if there are going to be some OEM companies stepping in to fill the gap where Boosted leaves in terms of service parts. Particularly with batteries, that seems to be the main problem with these boards. But the future is very uncertain here, and there's a lot of other boards I would recommend before getting this now. X-Way Flex. But in terms of build quality and reliability, for the most part, yeah, I mean, Boosted's still a great board. If you wanted to pick this up, I wouldn't fault you. But you do kind of run that risk long term in terms of, like, you know, if something goes out on you, you're going to be looking at the second-hand market or possibly a third-party solution that has yet to materialize. Again, BACKFIRE, yeah, go for it. The G2T, I think that was got a little bit more range to it, and I think the deck flex was slightly stiffer on the T. Bench wheel, absolutely not. Just type bench wheel into the just type bench wheel electric skateboard into Google and look up reviews, or go to the electric skateboard Reddit and just type in search and bench wheel. Some fun posts on this. This, I don't even know how. I mean, it is technically an electric skateboard, yes, but this is definitely a toy. This is a toy for children. Again, Mini X, bad choice considering everything else we've had here. But again, yeah, might not be long for this world. And here we have a complete. I think this comes with the Omakase deck, I think, or is that the Dervish? But this is essentially the Unlimited kit with the deck. So yeah, there must be one warehouse that still has all of these old school, like, DC linear friggin' motor. This is like Gen 0 e-skate tech, and it's basically a toy. Like, don't even at 100, like, you can see, I don't need to keep talking about. Oh, here's the Spadger. Okay, yes, no, just no, none of that. It's super underpowered. The deck tends to break a little bit. The electronics are just the super basic first generation Li Yang binary controllers, very not smooth. No, as you can see, like, we're only on the second page and things are already starting to get kind of sparse here. Oddly enough, yeah. So I've seen there's a couple of different folks selling this one, and I think Ronnie's got a video on this board that's definitely worth checking out. And if you want a travel board, like something that you can take on the plane with you and throw it, in a backpack, this is actually built pretty solidly. I was pretty surprised by this. So yeah, not a bad choice. Especially great for like a daily commuter. Like if you're taking like the bus or the train or something, you can just fold it up and like put it under the seat or between your legs or something. I'm very suspicious of that 25 miles per hour top range. I think actually in Ronnie's speed test he only got about like 22, 23, but for 7 to 10 miles of range, probably not bad. 160 watt hour battery. Yeah, let's lean on this 7 miles of range. Yeah, it's not too bad. That's a very nice, clean page too. Here, I like that. Like, they give you a lot of good details. There's not a lot of extra clutter there. There's not a lot of extra padding in the language. G2T, again, yeah, still good. Skateboard, this one, no. Actually, so I do not recommend this one. This is on way older drive tech. And it's super underpowered, super short range. There we go. Another unloaded, complete. Another crap board. Motion third in. I don't even know where half of these go. So, Cool Wheel used to be, like, at this price, absolutely not. Like, there are so many better boards for so much less. Like, at this point, like, if you were looking at this, I'd say just go with the BACKFIRE. There's no reason you should be paying $650 for a Cool Wheel, especially now that Cool Wheel USA is essentially defunct. Like, this really should be, like, $400. If anything, like 450 max. I would not pay almost $700 for a Cool Wheel in 2020. And the Slick Revolution is a good board. You might have some service issues considering that they are a UK brand, but it's not a bad option. Like, this is basically like the UK boosted equivalent, and they do have a very good track record in terms of build quality and longevity. And it would say it's got those nice 1200 watt motors. Oh yeah, 27 miles an hour. Like, this is basically on par with the Stealth. The difference being that you'll still be able to get you'll still be able to get parts for this. I don't know if you'll be able to get service in the US. And as we get farther out, the Amazon Choice electric skate, that's not gaming the SEO at all. Yeah, you'll see a lot of these too, just these no-name generic OEM boards. This is basically kind of like a WowGo 2S, essentially, in equivalency. If like you needed I'd probably best to avoid, like 400, just go get a WowGo or a Meepo. Vestar, again, at $700. That's a little steep for that. I think you can actually get it on their website cheaper. Yeah, so you can actually get this board cheaper on their website. So I would definitely recommend not getting that on Amazon. You're basically paying like a $200 premium almost, it looks like. Yeah, not really seeing much here. We're kind of getting to the end of the line, as it were. If they sold the board along with it, I'd totally give that a recommendation. Actually, let's see, is XY on here? No, XY is not. We just get a couple of more boosted boards. That's about it. Oh, it's a boosted Gen 2. Yeah, I don't know, Chief. I don't know about that. I don't know if $1,800 for an almost 4-year-old board with no support is really worth it. It's interesting that the Riot Hub, or the Riot, sorry, not the Riot Hubs, the Riot Drive is on here, but the board is not. All right. So I think we've pretty much come to the end of the line here. With that, I think we're about done on this journey. Lessons to be learned, again, if you're going to buy an electric skateboard, I would recommend just doing a bit more research and then buying direct from those manufacturers' pages. Whether you're going to get a Meepo, an X-Way, a WowGo, whatever. All in all, it just doesn't seem like there's really any good reason to buy off of Amazon, and also just the selection of boards is so limited that it's not really, your odds are you're probably going to be getting a lemon if you don't know what you're doing going into this. So it is better just to take a little extra time and just buy direct. So that's the moral of this story, and that's the end of this video. So if you liked it, please give it a like and smash that bell. If you didn't, then please tell me what I did wrong so I may appease you, Master. Until next time, it's been Dread, and stay safe and keep on skating.